right now. So for a lot of these cars, this is when they're going to be telling their crew chiefs, this is what we got to do on the next stop. This is what's wrong with my race car. As we get ready to come down pit road, they'll be ready to make necessary changes.
And Biffle in the Busch race yesterday, the green flag runs were common there once again.
Very much common runs. And right now, I think Darrell and Larry and Mike have been talking about it. Greg Biffle's starting to look a lot like his teammate Carl Edwards did yesterday in the Busch race.
Mike?
Well, the nice thing about the Jack Roush plan is you've got 5 different opportunities to hit the right setup, and he has Busch leading, or rather Biffle leading Kurt Busch in 8th, Matt Kenseth in 9th. His other car is a little further back, but we listened in on Kurt Busch, and Matt, he's in 6th place, but it doesn't sound like a happy 6th place.
He's faded back to 8th, Mike. In fact, they combined 2 setups during the final practice session, thought they hit upon something. Confidence was high for his first top 5 finish here at Las Vegas, but right now he's telling crew chief Jimmy Finnig he is battling a very ill-handling race car.
Has 21 laps on the tires, 2-1.
Dude, we have been tight in all the days of testing and all the weeks this year. We have been this tight.
And he is holding on right now. Crew chief Jimmy Finnig is planning on pitting him somewhere around lap 72 to 76. Now, he did say earlier on this run that he felt like this set of tires was the tightest that he's had all weekend. So, Larry Mack, as a crew chief, you take that into account because you don't want to over-adjust, correct?
No, you don't want to get that car loose. We've already seen how Kevin Harvick was with the car loose, but the reason he has not been that tight.
Turn 3, Larry, excuse me, somebody's gone up in smoke.
Robbie Gordon, another engine failure for that 7 car, and the caution is out.
Man, that saved a bunch of good cars from going a lap down right there.
A lot of fire and smoke from Robbie Gordon. One car it did not save was our outside pole sitter Elliott Sadler, who had, after posting a great qualifying lap, had already gone a lap down. Robbie coasts the Harrah's number 7 into the garage.
And engine failures has just been the Achilles heel for Robbie Gordon already in 3 races. He had an engine problem at Fontana. He had all kinds of engine woes at Daytona.
Mexico, he had problems.
So a lot of problems there in the engine department for his Busch and Nextel Cup car.
Field is frozen at the moment of caution. Let's have a look at where our Dodge Chargers are running right now. Ryan Newman, who started on the pole, is posted 2nd. Travis Quaffle right behind him. Jamie McMurray in 15th, with Dodge's also 17th, 18th, 19th, and 22nd. 2nd caution of the day.
DW, you were right. Michael Waltrip, Sterling Marlin, Jason Leffler. I mean, they were just about to fall into the clutches of our leader, Greg.
Yes, sir. They could look in the mirror and see the leader 16 right on their bumper.
So pit stops will be the order of the day. Jeannie?
Well, drama in the 17 pit of Matt Kenseth came on the radio just a little bit ago and said the car is starting to feel like it is running out of gas. He actually at one point said the meter actually dropped to 0 as if there was no fuel. He felt like the car stopped running, went back again. They've been in the pits taking some samples of the fuel to see if maybe there's something in the fuel that they just didn't know was there. And concerned now that there could be some problem with the fuel lines. We'll keep you posted. Matt?
Jackman Scott Radel already has the right side car up. They're making a wedge adjustment and an air pressure adjustment to try to fix the defending champion's tight race car. Steve?
Matt, 4 tires for Greg Biffle. They took a ½ pound out of the right rear. Little bit of a slow stop for them. He speeds away. Dick.
In that last run, Ryan Newman started out loose, got tight, got a little bit loose. They'd added some static weight to the left rear, a little slow on the left front. And will he beat, the 77, beat him out. Quaffle.
Travis Quaffle, Ryan Newman. The first 2 off pit road.
We have a new graphic now. The pluses means positions gained, and the minus means position lost. That's the pit road time. And if you look right there, there it is. Travis Quaffle gained 2 positions off pit road. And you see right here, Tony Stewart lost 3. And a 0 means you came in, you went out where you came in. Now we're going to highlight some times, and these 2 green times, Matt Kenseth and Carl Edwards, that means they had the fastest of the 2 times. Greg Biffle, who came in leading the race, as well as Tony Stewart, we saw the positions lost. They had the slowest of these top 10 times.
More likely those slow times with those teams, they made adjustments on the car that slowed the pit stop down a bit. Maybe a rubber in the spring, maybe a rubber out of a spring. You never are sure what happened there, but probably made some adjustments.
And that number in seconds represents the total amount of time spent along pit road, including the stop. Capacity crowd here in Las Vegas. We've completed 60 laps. knob, 720p high def, Dolby Digital 5.1. Crank it up.
Trouble. Turn 4.
Elliott Sadler goes around.
He got Stewart poked him, I think.
And Jeff Gordon gets some nose damage, getting into the back of Sadler as everybody scatters. Third caution of the day. It comes at lap 65.
Looked like Carl Edwards in the 99 has some damage as well on the left front. There you see the back of Elliott Sadler's car, our outside pole sitter, already a lap down at lap 64. There you see the damage on the left front of Carl Edwards.
Just causing it all, look like.
And Tony Stewart got punted in the back, but it looks like just bumper cover damage and little else.
Well, let's see what happened here. Oh, the 17 car.
Matt Kenseth
poked him. 38's been off the pace just a little bit. That doesn't mean you run over him.
And he was up at the front of the pack, so you see all the cars coming toward him. There's where Carl Edwards got his damage on the left front.
Yeah, actually, Tony did a good job of keeping from getting into the 38 car.
Watch Jeff Gordon, the 24 car here. And Jeff Burton in the 31, he gets into the left rear of Jeff Gordon because Jeff Gordon was trying to slow down to keep from getting in the back of Elliott Sadler.
Burton was trying to keep him run over Tony, who was sitting on the apron.
And Gordon did avoid Sadler, did not get in the back of him, but got hit. You're riding with Kevin Harvick.
Go, 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 go.
And this is Jeff Burton's car.
In front of you, easy back, easy, 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 easy. Hold on. Come on now, come on.
So pit road's open after this third caution. Steve?
Mike Elliott Sadler in his pit stall. The team looking at the damage. He had been complaining about this race car from the start of the race. He had gone from second, and as Larry McReynolds pointed out, went a lap down. The car was, in Elliott's words, almost undrivable. It was so loose they had already pulled a spring rubber out of the left rear spring. So this car just a handful for Elliott Sadler. The day has gotten worse. Dick?
Jeff Gordon did the pits, most of the damage to the left rear corner. Mike Atwell, who is the rear tire changer, is back there right now working on that section of the car, trying to pull some of the sheet metal out. They have changed tires on Gordon's car, as well as put 2 rounds in the right rear. He said the car does not drive well off the corner. Of course, that was before the crash. We'll see what it's like now.
Work continues on Jeff Burton's car. So in all, at least 6 cars received some damage when Matt Kenseth got into the back of the fading Elliott Sadler, number 38. The leader over his teammate, Travis Quaffle, both in Dodges.
And this is something we'll be following a lot today. You can see the air temperature from the start of the race is about the same, but basically turns 1 and 2 is cooling down a little bit, getting some shade. 3 and 4 is getting warmer, but these conditions are very similar to what they had in practice yesterday. Not a big change except for that 300-mile Busch Series race.
Getting set for the restart with Jimmy Johnson third, Greg Biffle, Joe Nemechek. The top 5, Robbie Reiser having a look at the fender on Matt Kenseth's car, seeing if there's a little rub there, a little tire rub.
Because none of these leaders wanted to come to pit road just after 1 or 2 laps on their tires.
There's a lot of tire rub there on Kenseth. Jeannie?
Yeah, they're hoping, guys, that the tire rub is not so severe as to actually cause tire damage, and maybe it will indeed push the fender back up. But it's like, what drama do you begin with? Because there's still discussion about what's going on with the fuel line now, maybe particularly the fuel cell. So there is some talk when he does come in that this time they absolutely have to look at the fuel line, especially if they're going to work on the fender a little bit, because they can't go the distance if they're going to have this continual problem with the fuel, guys.
This tire is even rubbing the fender on the straightaway.
Yeah, no, he's going to have to. That may get better, but it's going to. That's going to have to be attended to.
He's running up in the 8th position. They just did not want to give up that track position with 32 cars on the lead lap, but they don't want to blow that left front tire either or have to pit on the green. They need a caution right now.
Well, as we've seen, we know the damage that a tire that goes down can do to a fender. By the same token, it can fix that fender if it doesn't get into it too hard.
And we're riding with Kevin Harvick. Remember, had to go to the rear of the field because of his qualifying time disallowed. He had worked his way up into the top 15. We heard Dick Bergman talk about how loose he was. He welcomed these last 2 cautions because they've made adjustments, and he just cracked the top 10 into 10th place.
Three cautions so far out of the race. Robbie Gordon, Morgan Shepherd, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in a crash with Brian Vickers, Bobby Labonte, and Ricky Rudd. Let's go to the pits and Matt.
Before that crash, Carl Edwards climbed from 26 all the way up to 14th. Made a stop on pit road, a lot of tape to fix the cosmetic damage to the 99 car. He said the car was a little tight before that, but he's almost like a cheerleader to his team. He's almost keeping them pumped up, telling them they still have a shot to win this race. Lost one yesterday when a cut tire took him out of the lead, but he led 125 laps. A lot of experience he gained in yesterday's Busch race, trying to carry over to today's Cup race.
Teammates Newman and Quaffle.
I think Travis is very happy to be right there. He's following Ryan and getting some laps here, and he's running up front. I think he'd be very happy to stay right where he is.
Not so happy Elliott Sadler. He is headed back to pit road under green. Or excuse me, that is John Andretti. It's not Elliott Sadler. As they come across here
right
for abreast.
And we don't have out of bounds here like we do at Daytona. Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 32 car all the way below on the apron on the front stretch.
You can do that, but it's a little treacherous when you come back up onto the racetrack. There's a little transition there that every now and then will upset your race car.
Now the front straightaway, D-shaped as it is, has a pretty good amount of bank in it, and that apron down below that yellow line, that's pretty flat.
John Andretti in the 14 car just made an unscheduled stop as well.
See where Mark, I see Mark back in there. Mark hadn't come to the front like I thought he may. I mean, based on the way his Busch car ran yesterday, I thought he might slide right to the lead, but hadn't done it so far. But he's an old sneaky veteran. Might just be riding around right now.
He just kind of strolled around yesterday and stole the show in the closing laps when his teammate Carl Edwards cut a tire.
Yeah, these cautions are really not falling in his favor right now. Mark likes for it to go green for a while.
See, Jeff Gordon in the 24 car behind him has those little fresher tires working on the back of Mark Martin, and right now this is a battle for 22nd.
And just 2 cars ahead of them, Tony Stewart